Hello everyone, today in this video we are going to be making a teleporter in Roblox Studio. To do this, the first thing we want to do is go in your project and we want to go to the workspace over in the Explorer. We then want to hit on this plus, and I'm just going to create a new folder and call it teleporter. And inside of this folder I'm just going to add a part. This part I'm going to call it part_1, and then I'm going to anchor it, move it to the place I want, so let's just say there. And I'm going to head over to the transform in the properties, and I'm going to go 10, 1, 10, just so we can get a nicely shaped teleport pad. I'm then going to just change the color to green. I'm going to add a script by going back over to the Explorer, hitting the plus and clicking on script. I'm not going to touch this script just yet, but what I want to do is select part once again, right click, duplicate, and then going to rename it to part 2. I'm going to move it over to a different location, so let's just say there. I'm going to change the color to something else, let's just say pink. And what we want to do is then head over to server script service. In server script service, we want to click on the plus and click on normal script. We're going to then rename the script to stats and delete all of the code inside of this script already. Inside of the script, we're going to write code that will detect whenever a new player joins the game. We're then going to add a new bool to the player with a customizable name and a default value. So the first thing we want to do is write game.players.playersadded : connect function player. That will then detect whenever a player joins. Under that, we then want to write local teleport is equal to instance.new bracket speech marks bool value, comma, and then the player that just joined. Then we want to name the variable, so just go teleport.name is equal to has teleported, and then under that we want to go teleport.value is equal to false, just to assign the value. So this one creates the value, this one names the boolean, and this one assigns the value. We are now done with this, but I'm going to keep it open just for now because we need to reference back to it later on. We then want to head over to the script in our first part. I'm then going to remove all of the code in here, and this script will get the teleport destination, check to see if the player has touched the object. We're then going to check to see if the cooldown's active. We're then going to get the humanoid root part. We're then going to enable the cooldown if it's not already enabled, and then we're going to obviously do the cooldown. So to first of all get the teleport destination, all we need to do is go local TP is equal to script.parent.parent.part2. Now it's important that we are in the part_1 script, because if we were in the part 2 script and we wrote this, the teleport destination would be itself, which means we wouldn't teleport anywhere. So make sure you are in part 1. Underneath this, we then want to detect the collision, so we go script.parent.touched : connect function hit. And to check to see if it's the player hitting or colliding with the object, we go local player is equal to game.players : get player from character hit dot parent. And underneath that we need to error check it, so if not player then return end. We get the teleport destination with the first line, and then the rest of it so far we check to see if there's collision. If there is a collision, we then check to see if it's the player. If it's not, then the code then stops. But underneath that we can go local teleport flag is equal to player : find first child. And then this is where I was talking about referencing back to our stat script. So if we go over to there, we just double click on the bool name and we hold Control and click C. It copies it to our clipboard. If we go back to our script that we were just editing and hold Control and click V, it pastes it in, and this way we can guarantee that it's no different. But after that bracket, we can then click OR and we can write instance.new brackets speech marks bool value, comma, player. And then underneath that we can just go teleport.name is equal to has teleported. So this gets the cooldown flag, or creates it if it doesn't already exist. But it should exist, but you know, it's just error checking. We can now then check to see if the cooldown's active. We can do that with an if statement. So if we go if teleport flag dot value, we can then go then return end. However, if that's not the case, we can go return flag dot value is equal to true. So this first line, this if statement, checks to see if it's already active. If it is, then it will stop. If it's not, then it will set it to active. Under that, we can then now get the local human root part. So we're just going to create a local variable called HRP, which stands for human root part. To get it, we then go it's equal to player dot character and player dot character colon find first child speech marks humanoid root part, and that is all for that. So it just gets the human root part and then stores it in this variable, because now we can then check to see if we have the human root part. So we can go if HRP then, and it's already doing it for us, but we can go HRP dot cframe is equal to the TP dot cframe plus vector3 dot new, and then this will be a location that we can set, so we're just going to go for that. So it gets the original position of both of the teleport destination and our player character. It then sets the player character's position to the teleport destination plus, and then whatever custom position we want. So I want it to be a little higher on the y-axis, just so we're not clipping in the floor. But underneath that, after we handle the actual teleportation, we can just go task dot wait brackets 3, and then we can go teleport flag dot value is equal to false. So this task dot wait is the cooldown, so it just waits 3 seconds in real time, and then teleport flag, we just set the cooldown back to 0. So with the script done, we can then hold control, click A to select all of it. We can then copy it by once again holding down control, then clicking C. We can head over to our part 2 script and just paste it in, but it's important that you change part 2 to part 1. Now, if we go over to our play and we just hit play, if I go over to the teleport 1, as you can see, we teleport to the second one, and if I go back over there, we teleport back to the original one. If you guys have found this tutorial helpful, please do leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.